Hello and welcome back to another episode.
Hi, everyone. So, this month, as everyone is already in the festive mood, we're getting into the heart of the festive season as well. Not the lights and laddus part,
Yeah.
but the business side of thing and the logistics behind it.
Yes, because if you're in the business of warehousing, distribution, or even quick commerce, this is peak season.
True.
And that also means peak exposure.
And often, peak negligence.
Precisely.
We've seen so many businesses scaling their operations for the festive season, but forgetting that their risk cover needs to scale too.
Yes, I think every business needs to ask itself this simple question. You've leased a temporary warehouse for festive demand, stocked it with goods worth a fortune. Everything's up and running. But is it really insured?
And by that, we mean, is that new warehouse location officially endorsed in your policy? Because if it isn't, then unfortunately, your entire festive stock could technically be uninsured.
And this isn't just theory. This has happened more often than business owners realize.
Yes. For example, during Diwali last year, a popular snack brand stored 3.2 crore worth of inventory in a temporary facility in Indore.
Mm-hmm.
And just a few days later, a major fire broke out in the warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
leading to total loss of the stock. Interesting part is, even though they had the insurance, their claim was denied because the site wasn't listed in their policy schedule.
That's the part most people miss.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just have a fire or property policy in place. If the location isn't declared, the cover doesn't apply.
And it's not just location, there are other recurring blind spots. In some cases, we've seen policies where the stock value wasn't updated for seasonal surges.
Mhm.
So even when the location was covered, the insurer capped the claim because the sum insured was too low.
Yes. And another common issue is loopholes in staffing. Temporary workers, outsourced security, third party logistics.
Yeah.
If these aren't aligned with your risk disclosures, claims can get tricky.
We've also come across cases where clients assumed they had blanket cover, when in fact they were on named location policies. So, although they assumed that any warehouse they used would be covered, only the ones specifically listed in the policy actually were.
Right. And there's a crucial difference. Blanket cover only applies if it's included in your policy terms. And even then, you need to inform the insurer whenever you start using a new location. It's flexible, but it's not automatic.
And what's important to note here is that a named location policy only covers the sites specifically listed in your policy schedule. If a warehouse isn't named there, it's not covered, no matter what's stored inside.
Well, I remember this case from Kolkata.
Mhm.
So, a footwear company rented a temporary warehouse just for the festive rush, stocked it with huge inventory, but didn't inform their insurer.
And
And then came the theft. And overnight, the entire stock vanished from the warehouse.
entire stock must have been a well planned one.
I guess so.
Mhm.
But that wasn't the only tragedy. Because the warehouse address wasn't endorsed in the policy.
Oh.
The claim was denied.
Such a silly mistake if you look at it.
Yeah, correct. And obviously, the business was caught off guard. They assumed they were covered simply because the policy was active. But in a named location setup, location is everything.
Which is why it's so important to understand what kind of policy you actually have
Yeah.
and keep it aligned with your on ground operations.
So, what should businesses do differently this festive season?
I would say start with your policy schedule. Review all active storage sites, including temporary ones. If something's not listed, raise an endorsement request before you stock the site.
I agree. Also, look into seasonal stock enhancement options. These let you temporarily increase your sum insured during specific high demand months.
Exactly. You usually get to pick 2 months. Diwali and New Year
Mhm.
are obvious picks for many,
Yeah.
but you can choose it based on your preference. And this avoids the hassle of constant mid policy adjustments.
There's also a blanket declaration route.
Okay?
This works well for businesses that use rotating or short term facilities. But again, The key is regular, timely communication with your broker or insurer.
I think one of the biggest shifts we are seeing is that warehousing is no longer just an ops function.
Yeah,
It's a risk center, especially in India's evolving retail and e commerce landscape.
that's true. And when the festive season is such a critical revenue window, the cost of getting insurance wrong isn't just financial, it's reputational.
You're absolutely right. A failed dispatch, a denied claim, a delayed recovery. Even the smallest of hiccup can create big damage to the image.
That's why we always say insurance is not a reactive tool, it's a readiness tool.
True.
If you're scaling your business for the festive season, your cover needs to scale with it.
So before you roll in those extra trucks, stock those temporary units or hire seasonal labor. Talk to an expert by logging on to our website www.mahindrainsurancebrokers.com.
Yes, it takes a few hours of planning, but it can save your business and a lot of heartburn too.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today.
We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, stay ready, stay covered.